Hale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Samini Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnava Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Prahladananda Prabhu, Somen Prabhu, nice to see all of you.
Haribol Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Both of you have a nice altar. Prahladananda Prabhu has Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Wow. So
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
I touch my head to Prabhupada's feet every day.
Wonderful. This is a good habit, Prabhu.
Prabhupada Maharaj mercy. Without that, I am nowhere.
Yes, we all agree 100%. There is no
100%.
question. Very nice. And Somen Prabhu has a object of love, Radha Krishna behind. Very nice.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Where is this Prabhu from? What is the last name?
Yes, Prabhu Kahali. I am from Tampa, Florida, Prabhu.
Oh, and from India, where?
I am from Calcutta, actually, Prabhu.
Oh, Calcutta.
Yeah.
Why I'm asking? Because my younger son looks exactly like you.
Oh.
In fact, I have taken your picture to show to him, you know.
That's very funny.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Gopal Champal Prabhu. It's my good fortune you are here. Nice
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. It's my good fortune that on today's day I will be hearing Katha from you, Prabhu. Somehow Krishna arranged that I be able to be here.
Please pray for me and bless me so I can say something that will be aligned with Guru Parampara and Prabhupada especially. So today we are going to discuss, and Mother Rohini Devi, welcome. So we're going to discuss, first we are going to chant Dasavatar Stotram of Jaidev Goswami. All our Acharya, even though there is many incarnation, you can say unlimited incarnation, but Srila Prabhupada emphasized Jaidev Goswami's because of his inner connection with Radha Krishna, such a deep understanding that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished. So his writings has a tremendous value. So let us join together. We're going to sing together. Let's see, where is that? Okay. Okay, found it. We're going to sing together. Okay. Is that visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Pralaya payadi jale dhritavana shivedam vihita bahitra charitramakedam kesavadrita Meena Sarira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Shitiriha vipulatare tishtati tava pristhe. Dharani dharana kina chakra gariste. Keshavadhrita kurma sarira. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Bashati dasana sikhare. Dharani tabalagna. Shashini kalanka kale vanimagna. Keshavadhrita sukararupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tabakara Kamala Varena Kam Adbhuta Sringam. Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringam. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Chalayashi Vikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana. Padanakhanira Janita Janapavana. Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Kshatriya Rudhira Maye Jagad Apagata Papam. Snapayashi Payashi Shamita Bhavatapam. Keshavadrita Brigupati Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Vitarashi Dikshurane Dikpati Kamaniyam. Dasamukhamoli Palim Ramaniyam. Keshavadrita Ramasaya. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Baha Shiva Poshi Bishade Bashanam Jaladhavam. Halahati Bhiti Milita Jamunavam. Keshavadrita Haladhara Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Nindasi Jagna Vide Ahaha Sruti Jatam. Ishadaya Ridaya Darsita Pashughatam. Keshavadrita Buddha Sarira. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Mlecha Nivaha Nidhane Kalayashi Karavalam. Dhumaketum Iva Kimopi Karalam. Keshavadrita Kalki Sharira. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Sri Jaya Deva Kaveri Dam Mudita Mudaram Srinu Sukhadam Shubhadam Bhavasharam Keshavadrita Dasha Vidharupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. As Achyutananda Prabhu remembers that on particular day Prabhupada said you can sing the Dasavata Stotram and then sing particularly that incarnation one more time. So we are going to sing number 5 as Prabhupada indicated. Chalayashi Bikramane Balim Adbhuta Vamana Padanakhanira Janita Janapavana Keshavadrita Bahamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jai VamanaDeva Bhagavan ki Jai. Can we all share the translation? Can someone start reading one by one? We can go.
O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish, just to give protection to the Vedas, which have become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation.
Next.
O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of tortoise, all glories to you. In this incarnation as a divine tortoise, the great Mandar mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot for churning the ocean of milk. From holding up the huge mountain, a large scar-like depression is put on your back, which has become most glorious. Hare Krishna.
Very sweet.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. O Kesava, O Lord of universe, O Lord of Hari, who have assumed the form of a boar, all glories to you. The earth which had become I, merged in the Garbhodaka ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Next.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Next.
Okay, Prabhu, I can read Dandavat Pranam. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, all glories to you, O wonderful dwarf. By your massive steps, you deceive King Bali, and by the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you delivered all living beings within this world. Okay, Prabhu.
Next.
O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who has assumed the form of Brigupati Parshuram, all glories unto you. At Kurukshetra, you bathe the earth in the rivers of blood from the bodies of he demoniac Kshatriyas, that you have slain. The sin of the world are washed away by you. And because of you, people are relieve room the blazing fire of material existence.
Next.
O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, whose haze assumed the form of Ramachandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravan and distributed his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster.
Next.
Hare Krishna. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balram, the yielder of the prowl, all glories to you. On your brilliant white body, you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. The beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare.
Next. Anyone eager to read?
O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who has assumed the form of Buddha. All glories to you, O Buddha of compassionate heart. You decry the slaughtering of poor animals, perform according to the rules of Vedic sacrifice.
One more? No. Two
Okay.
more.
O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who has assumed the form of Kalki. O glories to you. You appear like a comet and carry a terrifying sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of the Kali Yuga.
One more, last one.
I can, Prabhu, but
Yes.
kind of repeating, but O Lord Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you, who appear in the forms of these 10 incarnations. In the form of Matsya, you rescue. Prabhuji, one scroll.
Did we miss 11th, Prabhuji?
It is
Yes.
11th here.
Yeah, 11
Okay.
has to be read.
Okay, sorry, Prabhu. I'll read the 11. O Kesava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed these 10 different forms of incarnation, all glories to you. O readers, please hear this hymn of the poet Jayadeva, which is most excellent and an awarder of happiness, a bestover of auspiciousness, and it is the best thing in the dark world, in this dark world. Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So let us begin today's session. Very interesting and attractive. Something we can learn from this beautiful appearance of VamanaDeva. So before that, I would like to pray for mercy and blessing from all of you and from our Guru Parampara. You can all join if you like. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasa Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Nathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitangsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavunebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So dear Prabhus and mothers, because of the time, I just made some notes that this VamanaDeva Leela is very vast. It's in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 15 to all the way to 24. So you're talking about like 10 chapter you have to read, which is wonderful, but I cannot do that 10 chapters summarizing in 1 minute, 1 hour. So I just made some key point and I would like to share. And if you have some point, you please share. First of all, the whole episode took place because etiquette is such a important factor in our life. We all get initiation. We have our guru. We accept Srila Prabhupada as our Shiksha Guru. It seems like we are done. We don't need any other person's help in our spiritual path. Yes, you may feel that way. I mean, I'm not saying you all feel, but I did feel sometime, I have my guru, I'm chanting, and Prabhupada is there. What do I need? Every devotee's blessing. We have this misconception. But especially if someone has a feeling towards you, wants to see you progress, then you must be very careful. Maintain that respect to that person, whether it's a Prabhu or mother, who really wants your progress, who really wants to see you flourish in spiritual life. Why am I bringing this point? Because Indra, he felt he has his guru, Brihaspati, and guru gave blessings. And there's a big festival going on, glorifying his conquering over demons. He was bragging about it. This is in case if you want reference, this is in 8th canto, 5th chapter. Srila Prabhupada gives this 15 verse in the purport, a very nice synopsis that Durvasa has nothing to do with Indra in one sense, you may say. But Durvasa thought, or he represent God, the Supreme Brahman. Durvasa is a Brahmavadi. He said he represents the Supreme Brahman. I want to give him blessing. So he took off his garland and he literally gave it to Indra. And Indra, being too puffed up, I mean, he has a mercy from his guru. Hey, all the demigods, all his friends, they are glorifying him. I mean, sounds familiar. We feel same way. As long my friends all are good, my guru is good with me, what do I care for anybody else? Well, he felt the same thing. So, but Durvasa, out of his affection, he wants to see Indra's flourishing more. So he gave his garland. Hey, Indra, I want to give you my blessing. Here. Indra felt, that's nice, but he didn't really respect. He took the garland, he placed it on the trunk of his carrier elephant. Well, carrier elephant is also a devotee in a sense. He's not just an animal from the forest. He comes from the milk ocean, one of the 14 items that came out. So Irabat is not an ordinary elephant. He knows the power, but because he communicates with the boss. You know, in temple lifestyle, I can relate that. When you have a very intimate, close friend who is doing under your order, doing this, that devotee can imbibe the feeling of the boss. So Durvasa gave the blessing, and elephant, Prabhupada writes, being an animal in that sense, he says, could not understand the value of the garland. So he threw the garland between his leg and smashed it. Now, believe me, sometime when devotee from another country or another town or another place hear that you said something bad, don't think that, I'm not there, so I don't have to be concerned about it. No, you should be concerned about it. Indra saw that whole thing, but he didn't correct because he was, glorious. Big procession going on his glory. Why he should be concerned about somebody's blessing? It's like a little surplus. But we have to be very careful in Bhakti Path. So Durvasa, even though he was very far, few miles away, he immediately got affected. Oh, he's so proud, he doesn't care that I gave him blessing and he did not respect that. So as a result, Durvasa just cursed him. In some cases, we can see devotees sometimes upset with another devotee. I did this even recently, and I apologize. That was Krishna's mercy that he actually made me feel bad. Was not my fault anything in one sense. I just said this, Prabhu, this is the time for japa, it's not time for talking. That's all. And then the devotee says, well, I would just want to talk right now with the other person. I just don't want to chant. It's fine. It's nothing wrong. I mean, he has a right to do whatever he wants to do. But as a temple, on behalf of the temple, I look after the management here while the president is away. So I told him that. But still, I felt bad because he was kind of felt bad. So I apologized. And I see it's like a release. And that devotee also felt release, and we gave a hug each other and we became a friend. Even in little things, why not? We pay attention because we are trying to really become advanced and get out. We have to be very careful. Nothing own us. Maybe you don't, maybe I don't own anything in this world. I may say, well, I should not be worried about anything because I don't owe anything to anyone. But make sure also nobody owe anything from, maybe not from your angle, but from their angle. If I hurt somebody and that person is feeling bad and not progressing in spiritual path, I am responsible for that. Of course, I can say I don't care. Well, then progress will take maybe few lives. How about that? Oh, I don't like that. Okay, then I should be careful. So anyway, this is the first lesson from that. And I'll jump on the next lesson, what I learned. Now, just to give you some rough idea where we are heading with this short discussion of lessons we learned from VamanaDeva. Lord VamanaDeva appeared within this world from the womb of Mother Aditi. I'm just summarizing the entire 10 chapters in 10 minutes. And the mother Aditi, she's a wife of Kashyapa Muni, and she's the mother of all the gods, at least 12 gods. Dadash Aditya. Dadash Aditya means 12, headed by Indra, the king of heaven. And Lord appeared at midday. In case if you are fasting, you can fast till midday, but there is no fasting today because there was yesterday was fasting for Ekadashi. So it's an intervene. Vedic calendar runs by sunrise to sunrise. I'm not going to go details in it, but in case if you are interested, you can. I did some research one time. It was very satisfactory because I always got confused about this timing. Like Mangalarti, this time today Mangalarti, everything was dark. According to Vedic calendar, it is actually yesterday's. If somebody takes birth, they're still born in a yesterday night. Until the sunrise, the day doesn't begin. So that's why it's very wonderful and simple. So VamanaDeva appeared at midday on the Shravana Dadoshi, 12th day of lunar month of Shravana, when the moon is waxing. Now, as I mentioned the Durvasa story, Durvasa's curse made Indra's tremble. Then he realized he did mistake. So he immediately ran to his guru. That's another mistake. You should not run to your guru first. I mean, you can, it's good. But you know that you did the mistake with that devotee. Go to that devotee first. Anyway, he went to Indra because he didn't want to go to Durvasa for whatever reason is. And his guru told him a good thing. He said, run away from your home. You're not going to win this time. Because the demons, their devotion to their guru is very strong and they will take over. They will attack you now. They are already coming. It's very mysterious how some offense can be so quick, effective, and some offense may take few life. I hope none of us ever make any offense. So let's drop that. So when the demons came back and gained an upper hand on the demigods, Lord VamanaDeva appeared as a son of Aditi. The unassuming dwarf incarnation humbly begged 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj. Though Sukracharya warned his disciple that the Lord had come to trick him, Bali Maharaj rejected his guru and remained determined to honor dharma and fulfill VamanaDeva's request. And he thus went down in history as one of the 12 great personalities, Mahajan, for the first giving the Lord the entire universe. And then surrendering his very self. We come into the world empty-handed, Prabhus and mothers, and you will be leaving also empty-handed. Somen Prabhu must remember this. You came empty-handed, you will go empty-handed. If in the interim we can dedicate everything to Krishna, we can escape the trap of attachment and the subsequent pain that comes with it. Now on this, so much discussion took place. Sukdev Goswami narrated a very beautiful that Bali Maharaj and VamanaDeva in Vaivasvata Manu's time, what did they do? So Maharaj Parikshit asked, because he asked those questions, actually it became more elaborate. After being cursed by the demigod, Bali Maharaj and the demons were mystically revived back to good health by the grace of Sukracharya, their guru. So the Brahmana friends of Bali Maharaj then engage him in a sacrifice to gain cosmic control. Vishwajit Jagna. I'm sure you heard that name, many Indian persons name Vishwajit. That's where it comes from. As a result, what happened? He received celestial equipment and formidable boons to multiply his power. So Bali Maharaj got so much power due to Sukracharya's blessing. Now, with renewed vigor and enthusiasm, Bali Maharaj laid siege on Indra's beautiful city. Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods, guru of Indra, informed them that they stood no chance unless the Lord personally appeared. Then demigod thus fled in fear as the demon took control of the heavenly realm. Determined as ever, Bali continued to perform sacrifice to strengthen his position and increase his influence. Now, when the demigod fled, their mother, Aditi, she became morose. You know, sometimes I thought the father Kashyapa Muni, what does he think? What he's feeling? Because demons and demigod, they both are his children through different wives. Whoever is win, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's his children. And whoever is get beaten up is also his children. So I don't know, as a father, how you feel. I mean, as a human being, I mean, just considering that. Kashyapa Muni tried to ascertain the cause and advise his wife Aditi. And that only Lord could provide permanent solution to life's problem. Because what can he do as a father? And whoever wins or loses, it's both are children of through different ways. So when Mother Aditi inquired, when Mother Aditi inquired how to worship the Lord and seek his shelter, Kashyapa Muni, he was a very kind husband, and he guided her through the intricate details of Payo Brata, 12 days milk fasting, a sacrifice, in which one subsists only on milk. Now, after successfully completing the 12-day sacrifice, the Lord Vishnu appeared before Aditi, much to her delight. Now, Aditi offered prayers in a faltering voice. Without her even mentioning it, the Lord understood her motherly concern for the demigods. Because of her devotion, Kashyapa Muni's austerities, the Lord reassured that he would find an ingenious way to overthrow the demons. Now, there is something we can also learn lesson. Prabhus and mothers, if you have some mystical experience in spiritual path, if you feel very happy, satisfied in the spiritual progress, be careful to reveal this to non-friendly relatives or friends. No, not non-friendly. Not, I mean, I'm not sure what is the word. Like anybody is not supporting or wishing you ultimate spiritual success. Be careful. Do not reveal this to them. It can be in the name of devotee also. In other words, keep it secret. Prabhupada made this in the purport that keep it secret. So Lord also told to Aditi, don't tell anyone that I will come as your son until this happened. And Prabhupada writes that a lot of secret spiritual progress you don't tell unless a friend who actually cares for your spiritual progress. Then you can. Apano bhajana kata na bolibe jatha tatha. This is a secret. So VamanaDeva journeyed to Bali Maharaj's sacrifice arena, and he appeared in the assembly looking like a young, innocent brahmachari. The priest fittingly received him, while Bali Maharaj humbly washed his feet. But stunned by his beauty and effulgence. So Bali Maharaj open-heartedly offered Lord any charity he desired. And VamanaDeva glorified Bali Maharaj's generosity, which was in keeping with his family tradition. After all, great personalities like Prahlad Maharaj had appeared also in this lineage. The dwarf incarnation, VamanaDeva, then made his request for a mere 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj encouraged him to ask for more, while Sukracharya vehemently warned his disciple not to give even an inch, even a little like a dot. The spiritual master of the demons was well aware of the Lord's ingenious plan. Now see if you can catch something with Sukracharya. Very interestingly, he knows the plan of God. He knows God. He knows the power of holy name. What is missing, you think? Now, he deviously suggested to get out clause to save the day. Now, uninterested and undeterred, Bali Maharaj rejected Sukracharya. This is like a big thing. To reject Guru is not a small thing. And readily agreed to VamanaDeva's request. And seeing this as his duty and religion to wholeheartedly offer charity to a Brahmana. Now, how could he retract his promise? When Bali Maharaj agreed to his request, VamanaDeva miraculously expanded himself. And Bali witnessed the entire creation resting with his body. With his first step, the Lord effortlessly covered the entire surface of the world. And by extending his body further, he covered the entire sky. With his hands, he covered all direction. Then with his second footstep, he covered the entire upper planetary system. Having comprehensively occupied everything in creation, the question remained as to where the Lord would place his third step. So, Sukdev Goswami gave a details, I'm just summarizing. The demigod glorified the extraordinary acts of the Lord. When the demon complained and criticized in a fit of fury, they attacked VamanaDeva, but were comfortably dispatched by the various associates of the Lord. The demons were driven out while Bali Maharaj was arrested and brought to the Lord. Now Lord Vishnu inquired from Bali Maharaj about where to place his third step. And failure to do so would mean instant punishment. Troubled by his inability to honor his word, Bali Maharaj considered deeply what to do. He was then inspired to offer his head as the place for the third step. Something we can learn also. Why in surrender, self-giving is more important. Because Bali Maharaj said there, I'm paraphrasing, he gave a beautiful speech, few slokas. He says, possessor, so far I have given only possession, my possession, upper, lower planetary system. But possessor is more valuable than possession. He said, I did not give myself, so you can place your third step on my head, the soul surrendering. The Lord became famed as Trivikram in that pastime. He took 3 great strides, and Urukram, he who performed wonderful acts. Seeing these grandsons' incredible display of surrender, Prahlad Maharaj arrived there and reassured Bali that he was actually the fortunate recipient of the Lord's mercy. When Lord especially favors someone, he takes everything away. Now, don't misunderstand, Prabhus and mothers. Doesn't mean Krishna will take away everything. It means if you do not want to surrender and you want to, all these material assets pulling you down, and Prabhupada even added in the purport, he says, if a devotee is supposed to be preaching the glories of the Lord and he doesn't want to do it, and I guess he was talking about himself. Prabhupada didn't say he's talking about himself. I'm just guessing because the way he put the purport was very astonishing to me. He said, then Krishna will eventually make him pauper. So then what happened? Lord Brahma and Bali's wife, Vindavali, glorified the supremacy of the Lord and offered various prayers. When they requested that Bali Maharaj be released, the Lord happily agreed and promised him all protection. Seeing Bali Maharaj's humility and sincerity, Lord Vishnu awarded him special planet known as Sutala. Sutala is not a hellish planet. It is lower planet, but it is now Vaikuntha. Aditi's desire to reinstate the demigod was thus fulfilled. Indra and the other cosmic rulers reassumed their responsibility within the universe. So this is the end of the story. Interestingly, that Bali Maharaj was crying while he was arrested. And Narad Muni happened to be there, and he asked Bali Maharaj, you are crying because Lord took away everything? He said, oh no. Then why you are crying? He said, I'm crying that this surrender process that I went through is difficult, but it is the most joyful experience I'm having. I'm very happy that I have surrendered to the Lord. But I'm crying because Lord went to Indra as a younger brother and asked him, what can I do for you, my elder brother? Imagine if you want to please God, say you want to please somebody, I'm just giving a metaphor. If you want to please someone, but you don't know how to please that person. But if that person tells you, can you do this for me? I'll be very happy. Then how the job becomes? Very easy. Wow, I already found out. He told me how he wants me to please him. So VamanaDeva came and asked Indra, what can I do for you? Indra could have easily fell at the feet. My Lord, give me your lotus feet forever, eternal. Let me become your servant. Did he ask for that? No. He asked for kingdom of heaven back. I'm so hurt hearing this, that Lord is self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything, but he asked, what can I do? If Lord asked, instead of asking for bhakti, he asked for this. So that's why I'm crying. Now, there are many lessons for Vaishnavas, Hare Krishna devotees, to learn from the narration of his activities, as found, especially 8th Canto, 18th chapter. Prabhus and mothers, you can read. Amongst them, first thing is, I found a very striking there, that Eki Ishar Tattva Bhakti Dhyan Anurup, Eki Vigraha Kare Nana Kararup. If you say, well, I love Vrindavan Krishna, but we have to be very careful. If somebody say, Haribol, VamanaDeva just appeared in New York, what should we think? Well, VamanaDeva appeared in New York, but I am worshipping Vrindavan Krishna. I'm not worshipping VamanaDeva. Be very careful. Don't misunderstand. Even if you are thinking of having Vrindavan Krishna as your beloved Lord, run to New York. I mean, run or fly, however way you go. And if Lord is giving the benediction, you just take the benediction. My Lord, I want to worship you in your form in Vrindavan. This kind of thought has to be there always. Never ever ignore any incarnation, because it could be a dangerous and it could be a very offense. Now we see that Putana reciprocated there. When VamanaDeva came, Boli Maharaj was stunned. He never saw a person, a child, a boy can be that attractive. So attractive that he is overwhelmed. He felt he will do anything for this child. So as his daughter, Ratnamala. And you know that story. And when Ratnamala was looking at the boy and her father is conversing, she felt like, wow, I wish I would have a child like this. And as I mentioned in some classes before, the Lord wink means he agreed. And of course, later on, that when Lord extended his giant form called Tribikram, he took over the entire creation in the material universe, this universe. Seeing this, that her father became now homeless, all family, everybody, they don't have any more kingdom royal. She was not so much happy about it. She felt like, why did I cry and felt affection to have a child like this? If it was my child, I would just kill him with the poison. So Tribikram, even from the high up sky, wink again. That's why that girl came to Krishna Lila as a Putana. That's very interesting also. Sanatana Goswami Pad says, all these demons are also has an eternal position. Let me phrase it. All these demons that we are familiar, Putana, Trinavarta, Arishtasura, Bakasura, Vatsasura, so all these demons. These are position. These are not the only person. These are position, and Jogamaya's arrangement, whoever is qualified, take over those positions. So that one we learn. So that's the first lesson, that all the incarnation of God are same. There is no difference in Tattva Siddhanta. In your reciprocation, there are big difference. Krishna is Krishna, VamanaDeva is VamanaDeva. The second lesson is when Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared, all other gods, at that time you can see who is the actual God, including Brahma, Shiva, everybody came to serve the Supreme Lord. This is very nice. Mahaprabhu's time this happened also. Shiva Shukha Narada, in the Gaur Arati song, we sing this. Brahma, Shiva, everybody came and bowed down to Mahaprabhu. All other gods immediately come and pay homage. They did when VamanaDeva appeared as a child and then became. Brihaspati, he awarded a sacred thread, Brahman thread. He is the guru of gods. Then sun god came and he gave the Gayatri mantra. Kashyapa Muni, father, husband of Aditi or father of VamanaDeva, also came and gave a straw belt. That's a brahmachari straw belt. Means you cannot eat too much. This is the origin of the idea. Of course, VamanaDeva, he can eat as much he wants. Who is going to check? But he was dressing as a brahmachari. In India, I saw one group called Tailam Goswami followers in Tripura. They had an ashram, and everybody, all these men had a big belt. When they're young, they put that belt and they grown, their belly is big and it is going over the belt, and they said this is not correct. They misunderstood actually. Belt should not be like, the belly should not go over the belt. Anyway, so VamanaDeva also had a belt from his father. Then Mother Bhumi Devi gave a deer skin to cover his private part. Also, deer skin allows you to meditate very attentively. So the other animal also don't come nearby from that smell. Even the tiger, they think, oh my God, somebody can kill just like me. So better don't go to that person. Then Lord Brahma came and gave him a water pot. Brahmachari needs a water pot. The treasurer of the heaven, Kubera, came, gave him a begging bowl. It's interesting. The rich man gave him the begging bowl, and you wonder why. And who gives the first term? The Mother Parvati, Shiva's wife. So this way, and of course his own mother, Mother Aditi, gave the, you can say, coping, underwear. So this is the second lesson we learned, that when Supreme Lord comes, you don't have to scrutinize how to determine. You see all the other gods, everybody bow down to one person, that is Supreme Lord. Third lesson we learned, Bhajaniya Sarvada Sadguna Vishishta. Jiva Goswami Pad writes. Today is also Jiva Goswami Pad's appearance. Very nice. He said the Bhagavan, Supreme Lord, his qualities are so attractive, so enchanting, so endearing, incredibly inspiring, that none, even the demons, none can resist but worship such a person. Now, in your mind, you may think, okay, VamanaDeva attracted the demon's mind by his beauty. What about Krishna? How come he didn't do that to Durjodhana? Krishna controls, not that it is they have a power to see. It is Krishna controls who can see his beauty, who cannot see his beauty. So even though Krishna is the most attractive, but Krishna has to allow us to see, then only we can see, otherwise not possible. So Bali Maharaj, captivated by VamanaDeva's beauty, welcomed, served him, conversed. So that's a beautiful explanation also. Third lesson. Fourth lesson, VamanaDeva teaches Bali about satisfaction. This is something, Prabhus and mothers, we must think about it every day, think for a month, every day. And read that chapter. Prabhupada gave a beautiful explanation about this. VamanaDeva teaches Bali Maharaj that enlightened human being, we are Hare Krishna devotee, means to be satisfied with what comes to your life. If something you don't have, you cannot complain. Yes, you need, you can get it, but even if you don't get it, you should be satisfied. You must learn that. Jadricha lava santusta. Nandotita bimasa. Jadricha lava. Whatever is destined, it will come. And if it is not destined, it will not come. But question is, can you remain satisfied? That's the question. Those who are not satisfied, VamanaDeva told Bali Maharaj, with what they actually need will never be satisfied. Even if they gain the whole world, and a man or a woman practicing the spiritual life must never be dissatisfied. For by which dissatisfaction, they sprinkle water on the inner fire of their spiritual potency. And if you ever wonder, can I progress further more quickly? Yes, be satisfied. Some way or other, convince yourself. Progression means illumination, that those topics, that whatever is my destiny, it will come. Tasya bahetu prajate kavita. Jat labhate. What, as a human being, we can achieve Krishna Prem, no other life we can. We should focus on that. Now, Bali Maharaj, VamanaDeva, he counseled the Bali Maharaj. But to counter that, the Lord actually told Bali Maharaj that as a Brahmana, I should be satisfied. Actually, everybody should be satisfied. Another lesson we learned from this episode, the Guru Sukracharya, he was a Brahmavadi. He was not a devotee. I hope you all understand. I am still not so much happy about Sukracharya's position. It's a little confusing. I mean, I am satisfied, but at the same time, it's like very interesting. He knew so much secret about God, but he never became a devotee. And Krishna knows. Guru Sukracharya, Brahmavadi, not devotee, revealed, warned about the boy Vishnu. So Bali Maharaj's Guru Sukracharya was perceptive enough to understand what was happening, who the young boy was. He was fully aware about VamanaDeva. Can you imagine? I mean, he's not even devotee, but he was fully aware. He told Bali Maharaj, his disciple, I know what are you doing? Stop it. Otherwise, you'll lose everything. He is Vishnu. Can you imagine? Even Jesus, when Jesus was in Bethlehem, the scribe, the priest, they are the big devotee, you can say at that time. They could not recognize who Jesus was. Who is that Messiah? Because how do we recognize Prabhupada? I like that GBC, SPT, they promote Prabhupada's position by the Shastra. And we should be aware like this. Otherwise, how do you know Prabhupada is pure devotee? Well, there is 9 symptoms. Skanti abharta kalattam viraktimana sunnata ashabandha samutkanta namagane sadaruchi asukti tadgunakhane priti tadvasuti stale iti adya priti ankore jane. One who has love for God, priti. These are the 9 symptoms. So, scribe and the priest in there at that time, they had to bribe Judas. You know that story. they bribed Judas. Can you tell us who is the Messiah? So million years back, thousands years back, even now, how do you recognize that some person in our ISKCON society is a great devotee? By the symptom. You study those 9 symptoms. So Sukracharya, even though he was not a devotee, but he could recognize. It was very striking to me that he told Bali Maharaj, he is Vishnu, be careful. He will take everything away. I can see what he's going to do. He has a whole plan. And he was right. Did VamanaDeva knew that Bali Maharaj, Sukracharya knows this? Yes. VamanaDeva fully aware of it. And you know, more striking is, I'll tell you something, it's very interesting, that VamanaDeva even asked Sukracharya something like, when you have time, you please read this Bhagavatam 8.23.16. Is a one famous verse we chant every day. Prabhupada chanted many, many times. And every Acharya focus on that verse. Guess who spoke? Sukracharya. He spoke the glories of holy name, but he never became devotee. And VamanaDeva wanted him to actually glorify the holy name. So question came that VamanaDeva responded to Bali's promise by expanding his size. Although God may appear as a child, he is the oldest of all, of the old, the immeasurable largest of all large things, the most powerful of all. This lesson would later be learned by Lord Brahma. And we see that in the purport Prabhupada gives that Brahma who tested the Lord's power, then he appeared as a child Krishna. God is also ultimate owner of everything since everything emanates from him. Now, interesting, the Sukracharya knows everything and then he curses his disciple. Sukracharya curses his own disciple. He revealing this actual relationship that sometimes exists between an official religious priest and a member of a faith. We see this in this world. We see this in the world. Now, of course, Bali Maharaj's Guru Sukracharya was perceptive enough to understand what was happening, who this young VamanaDeva is, what was about to happen. But he counseled the king to deny the request. It's like a very dramatic, if you really think. He knows the ultimate destiny is God and he's here, but he's telling his disciple, don't please him, don't. I mean, how do you think, like in front of the God, what kind of power of a guru has to actually guide the disciple not to surrender? In front of VamanaDeva. It's not like behind or another room conversation. No, in front of VamanaDeva. So in that sense, Sukracharya was acting as an atheist, kind of. Even though learned in Vedas, and Prabhupada writes, I'm paraphrasing, such a guru who stands in the way of his disciples' emancipation is fit to be rejected. I love that sentence Prabhupada wrote, very nice. Now, Bali Maharaj, how did he respond to Guru? Bali Maharaj turned to his Guru. He says, in a short, I'm giving, that telling lies or not keeping a promise once spoken is the most sinful act. And he explained that Mother Earth once said, and this is true, you can read that Mother Earth said, I can tolerate everything except the liar. In Kali Yuga, I hope you all know that, only one dharma represented by one, that everybody must be speaking still truth. not lie. And Mother Earth says, I can bear any heavy thing except person who is a liar. Therefore, a person living according to dharma must scrupulously avoid lying. Now, in that sense, I want to give a little hint. Please don't take it seriously, Prabhus and mothers, at this point, because Srila Prabhupada says, I found some connection about that Vaishya lies in business. You can read 18 chapter 47 sloka. Krishna says this, the businessman, because many devotees are in business in this world. I mean, many, you're talking about at least 10% or maybe more in ISKCON, they are in business. And then Prabhupada says, another one for Kshatriya, this is for businessmen, you can read 18.47. For Kshatriya, Prabhupada said in Hawaii, the Kshatriya may speak lies. That is allowed because he has to be diplomat, politician. This is on Ram Navami lecture, Prabhupada says, because Lord Ram is the best Kshatriya. Very nicely, Prabhupada explained that. Now, on this is a very interesting that if you think 8th canto 21 chapter first sloka, Sattam samiksh sabja bhavo mukhendivi hato sadharma dhutir abrito bhagat marichi mishra rishayo brihat prata sandhandaya narah deva yogina. So Prabhupada translate, let me see, Sukdev Goswami continued, when Lord Brahma, who was born of a lotus flower, saw that effulgence of his residence, Brahmaloka, had been reduced by the glaring effulgence from the toenail of Lord Vamanadeva, he approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the great sages headed by Marichi, by yogis like Sananda. But in the presence of that glaring effulgence, O king, even Lord Brahma and his associates seem insignificant. It was very interesting how Trivikram actually put all the power of all the demigods, including Brahma, everybody reduced. This is another lesson. That when Prabhupada glory actually put all other so-called Mayavadis and everybody down. And till today is down because of Prabhupada's wonderful glory. And I was thinking a question that Bali Maharaj rejected his guru, yet Vamanadeva respected him. Why? So Sukracharya was rejected by Bali Maharaj. Why? Because you all know. Because he did not give the highest teaching of surrendering, full surrender to God. But at the same time, Sukracharya has merit of his own. That's why Lord Vamanadeva respected Sukracharya. You know, amongst the thinker in Bhagavad Gita, one sloka in 10th chapter, you'll see, amongst the thinker, I am Sukracharya. What? Krishna is saying he's Sukracharya amongst the thinker. That's very powerful. Now, what was the fault in Bali in his sacrifice? Lord is giving darshan to him and asking him is not ordinary. That's true. Sukracharya seems to be aware about the glory of the Lord. As he says, if your holy name is chanted, then all deficiencies are made complete. He obeys the order of the Lord. So this is where the key point. See, Vamanadeva respected Sukracharya, even though he does not promote surrender to the Lord. This is a very far out. That Sukracharya seems to be aware of the glory of the Lord, but he did not promote surrendering to the Lord. But how did he glorify the Lord? he promotes the power of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He obeys the Lord, and Lord told him, but finish the Jagna. Even though your disciple rejected you, but try to finish the Jagna. And he did. Sukracharya literally did. You can look at it in 23rd chapter, 8th canto, 16 to 17. He said, it seems that the wrong advice, the cards which Sukracharya gave to Bali was personally inspired by the Lord. It was the plan of the Lord to show the glory of Bali's surrender and to show on him his special mercy. Prabhupada was very nicely explained that Sukracharya was not inspired by the Lord for devotional service. So we can be next to the Lord. One can be next to Krishna in the temple and be non-devotee or non-devotional. So this is a very fascinating story. And there's a follow-shruti on this. It says, Jaidam Deva Devasya Hare
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Karmana
Suprabhat. Dhanyavad.
Avatara
हाँ,
Charitam
Radhe Radhe.
Avatara Charitam Sinnavan Jati Param Gatim. If one hears, because you all heard it, hopefully, about the uncommon activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, he is certainly elevated to the higher planetary system, even back home, back to Godhead. So just by hearing this VamanaDeva story, we can go back home, back to Godhead. This is wonderful. Now, there are, how much time we have? Few minutes. Let's see. We have another class at 7. How this surrender took place, what types of surrender we can contemplate. Surrender is natural but gradual. Surrender is sustainable. What is sustainable surrender? So I'll put a poster I made. One is external, one is internal. External, we practice dedicating one's time to follow the various devotional process. Every day, each of you, I'm sure you do your daily sadhana, honoring prasadam. You don't eat from outside. So that's external still. And second point is lifestyle. So first is practice. Second is lifestyle. Lifestyle means you embracing the rules and regulation and changing daily habits, trying to come closer. And third is identity. You changing also your identity, surrounding yourself with the similar spiritual minded Prabhus and mothers, whoever you feel like will help you to progress. You want to be around them. Haribol, how are you? You feel like to be around them. So 3 ways you can surrender, make it surrender. I learned from this episode that external, first is 2 ways, external and internal. External through the practices, lifestyle, and identity. And internal also 3. In the mind, through the intelligence, and through the ego. Through the mind, what do you do? Accept and reject on the basis of what can be used in Krishna's service. And Bali Maharaj did a perfect example of that. We can learn that. Second is intelligent. One is rooted in the vision of the scripture and sees from that viewpoint. You know, one time as a small pastimes from Brahman Puran, many years back I read that one day there was a big jagna, and Prahlad Maharaj, as a grandfather, came to see his grandson, Bali Maharaj, and he was a young boy. So Prahlad Maharaj says, as long it pleases Vishnu, that's the best. And Bali Maharaj, as a, you're like a teenager, your children, teenager or whatever, they inquire, they're not accepting everything. Say, grandfather, why are you glorifying always Vishnu? I know you are Vishnu Bhakta, but I don't get it. Why you are so always glorifying Vishnu? Why not demons, our family, our prestige, our facility we have? Prahlad Maharaj says, of course, you have to understand. He's a pure devotee, but he's also a grandfather. You know how grandfather talk to the grandchild. You cannot be so angry, but at the same time, you have to teach. It's like a fine art, I guess. So he said, Bali, why are you bragging about this race you are in? He said, Grandpa, we have a Vaishnava, we have a Brahmanas. Sukracharya is the head of the Brahmana. And Sanda, Amarka, all these Brahmana, they are always doing jagna for our benefit. We don't need Vishnu, we don't need anybody. As long our Guru Brahmana is there. Sometimes difficult for a pure devotee not to act as a pure devotee. They forget their grandfather. He said, Bali, I give you warning. The day will come, you will lose everything. That day you will understand who is Vishnu. Now, when Bali Maharaj heard it, even though he was a young, he got scared. And he saw the eye of his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj. It was like very scary. And he thought like, oh my God, I have to lose everything to understand Vishnu. This is not good. Now what happened today? He lost everything. Then he got Vishnu. Now he understood who Vishnu is. He got more than Indra. The Sutala planet became like a Vaikuntha, all facility. He has no fear. Even Prabhupada writes, Ravana, when he heard this story, he thought, he's a demon, Bali, I'm a demon. How can he be enjoying more than that? Ravana had a power to even go in a Pushpak Biman, flower made of airplane. So he went there just by little toenail kick of VamanaDeva, because VamanaDeva was a gatekeeper of Sutal planet. One little kick, 800 mile far dropped Ravana. He said, oh my God, what was that? I'll never go there. I'm scared of that place. So even Ravana, who challenged Ram with Sita Devi, was scared of VamanaDeva's kick. So Bali Maharaj understood after losing everything. And that's why he applied the intelligence. So we have to apply the intelligence. This is, I see, Bali Maharaj's life. And he was actually, as I mentioned in the beginning, how he was crying. And he told Narad Muni, he's crying because Indra did not use his intelligence when his brother VamanaDeva came to ask, ready to do anything he wants. Can you imagine Krishna comes in your life and say, what would you like? What would you like to get? I'm ready to give. Let me hear. Mother Shilpa, if Krishna appears to you right now and say, what would you like? Tell me one sentence, just one boon. I want to hear from different devotee. And then I'll tell you what best thing we could ask. But let me hear.
First thing, I think I'll faint, Prabhu. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, you'll faint or not faint, I don't know. That's between you and him. But tell me, what would you ask if Krishna says, I'm ready to give you only one thing? What would you like? Okay, you're thinking, Somen Prabhu, I'll come back. Somen Prabhu.
I will ask to surrender. surrender and
Last for surrender.
give himself to with lotus feet and give
Okay.
to the lotus feet to the Lord.
Okay.
And
Mother Dandakes. Oh my God, why is asking me? You have to tell you are senior disciple of Prabhupada.
It's a no-brainer for me. I will ask to go back to Godhead.
You want to ask, go back home, back to Godhead. Okay.
Technically,
Okay.
but
Mother
it's only
Neha.
one, yeah.
I could not hear you, Mata. I have a hearing problem. Some or other, I can't hear clear. Maybe you can type it in the chat if your voice. Okay, Mother Shil.
Always think about Krishna, I would say. Radhika Mata and Krishna, I would say. I don't know if I would ask to go back to Godhead because I'm right now a bit attached to the family to take care of the family. So though I would love to.
Mother, I'm asking one boon you're going to get. Don't tell me negative, you don't want. If Krishna say one boon, what do you want? Not what you don't want. What do you want? Just one, not 2, 3.
Always, sorry, Prabhu. Always think about Krishna.
Okay.
Mind, focus on Krishna.
Okay, very good. Mother Rohini Devi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'd ask for pure devotional service.
Pure devotional service. Very good. Mother Gaurangi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, even though I don't have this desire from my heart, from my intelligence, I would ask to be infused with his own Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prem. You'll ask Krishna to give you Krishna Prem. Very good. Very good. Prahladananda Prabhu.
Haribol Prabhuji, I'll ask that engage me in service of great devotees like Prabhupada Maharaj and Pran Govind Prabhu like that. That's what I would ask. I'll get maximum pleasure doing that service.
Krishna, Krishna. Taranga Prabhu.
To become a very good servant of Srimati Radharani.
Wow. Okay. Nayan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would ask continuous opportunity to serve devotees.
Continuous opportunity to serve devotee. Mother Aroni.
I think I asked Krishna himself.
You will ask, you want Krishna.
Yeah.
You want Krishna to be standing in your house all the time? Or what would you like to do if Krishna say, okay?
I want to be with Krishna all the time and to be able to serve him.
Oh, okay. You want to be with Krishna and serve. Very good. Uttamananda Prabhu, what would you say if Krishna appeared to you? Prabhu's and mother, be careful. It can happen. Krishna hears everything.
Yes, Prabhu, I will ask devotional service.
Devotional service. Very nice. Very nice. Am I missing? Rati Ranjan Prabhu. If Krishna appears to you, what would you like to ask? If he's eager to give you a boon. Am I missing anyone else? No, I think everybody got it. Okay. Now, if Krishna asks that, I would say, I would like to be always serving him, pleasing him through service, but under the guidance of Radharani's Manjaris, the Goswamis. I want to be eternally under their servant. Whichever way they want me to serve, I'm ready to serve. This is just my preference. Now be careful, Krishna may come and Krishna hears all these prayers. It's not like we are guessing game in the Zoom. You'll be surprised. Krishna may appear in your life one day. Say, I heard one time you said you want this. Okay, you'll get this. So why did I ask that? Like Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted a bigger kingdom than his grandfather or father. Then what happened? That's what he got. But then he said, no, I don't want this. I want to actually be with you. I want to serve you. Say, well, you asked that one first, so you will go through 36,000 years. Then you will get. So we have to be very careful. And I'm glad you all are wonderful, Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. It's so nice to hear from all of you. Okay, I'll end here. If you have anybody has any question, we can discuss later. I'm sorry what happened. 7 o'clock, I have another class with the GVC college. So I have to go. And thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to see you next Wednesday. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataruvasya